Is suicide ever rational? That's the topic of discussion for an event being put on by the Hemlock Society of San Diego, an organization that advocates for a person's right to die. I'm here now with the group's founder and a longtime leader of this movement, Faye Gersh. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, jumping right in, when is suicide ever rational?
When people see no alternatives to their physical suffering, when they have given careful thought, notified their family, discussed it with their doctor, and have a rational way to do it, which is nonviolent and doesn't involve more suffering than they already have.
And why is it important to have this discussion as scheduled later this month?
People keep asking the question, I'm thinking about ways to end my life when it gets to the point where it's too bad, or there's no hope, or I'm going to a nursing home. Is there a way, and is there a law, and how do I do it? And more people, as we get older and older, and we see what happens in nursing homes, want to know if there's a way out. And of course, we have so many states now, 9 states plus the District of Columbia, that do permit physician aid in dying, but it's a fairly restrictive law. It's for people who have 6 months or less to live. And there are lots of other people who are worried about dementia or other long-term neurological diseases or cancer where they're not terminal, but they would like to not have their last period of life in suffering, loss of personhood, loss of dignity. So it's a very important issue for many people, especially my age, who are facing the possibility of a prolonged dying.
And what about the idea that someone who is suffering but not terminal, that it's just a temporary period in the person's life, and once they work through it, there may be an opportunity to have a better quality of life, but if they make a decision during that darkest point in their life, then it's a decision that they can't take back. What about that argument that...
Well, we're totally supportive of suicide prevention in those kind of cases. I was a psychologist all my life, all my professional life. And people ask me that, especially when I started the Hemlock Society here in 1978. People said, well, why are you worried about my depression and ending my life when you're with the Hemlock Society? I said, that's 2 different things. I said, your problems would be, if you committed suicide, would be a permanent solution to a temporary problem. We can help you work your way through this period of suffering that you're going through.
And on July 21st, you're going to be one of the speakers at the Hemlock Society's event where you'll be tackling this issue. What do you hope people will get from this discussion?
The main thing is to destigmatize the word suicide, or at least to deconstruct it, so that people can make a distinction between a well thought out end of life with loved ones present in a peaceful way, because what's going to happen next is going to be worse and they don't want to suffer that indignity of dying that way, from people who just broke up with a boyfriend and we have terrible situations in the United States. Loneliness is a big situation for older people. Nursing homes are very unappetizing places to go to die. And there are a lot of situations where people would say, that's it, I've had enough. And we would like to be able to work with those people to tell them what other alternatives are available.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.